Good day, everyone. It's 10:05 and appropriate that we start this session. It's my pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar organized within the framework of the TAAS project, Tourism as a Service. In the beginning, I would like to inform you that the webinar is being recorded so that the content can be later on presented to all interested parties. This initiative brings together partners from 8 European countries united by the common goal to contribute to European smart specialization strategy by transforming tourism through accelerated digitalization and advanced policy instruments for smart and sustainable development. I'm Romana Hribar from Regional Development Agency of Ljubljana Urban Region from Slovenia, one of the partners of the TAAS project, and will be your host on today's webinar. Tourism is a cornerstone of European cultural and economic fabric, and its transformation is critical as we navigate the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. The TAAS project adopts a holistic approach to tourism, ensuring that the needs of all stakeholders and users are addressed through sustainable principles. Our key objectives include using digital tools to ensure inclusivity and sustainability in tourism practices, empowering stakeholders with the knowledge and skills to initiate in planning and managing tourism. This project is driven by the collaborative efforts of 8 dedicated partners, managed by the lead partner, the Hellenic Development and Technology Center from Greece. This webinar will demonstrate best practices in tourism digitalization with a focus on inspiring interest and shaping new digital concepts for tourism sector. Daniel Santana from Sevilla Smart City Office will share insights into the Smart Tourism Intelligence System, SIT, a powerful tool for managing tourism data and enhancing strategic planning. Nazi Concilia from Tourism Ljubljana will discuss how integrating digital map elevates the experience at tourism information centers. While our third participant, Dr. Gabriela Fugir-Bauer from the Slovenian Tourist Board, will highlight digital approaches to position Slovenia as a top tourist destination. Today's webinar is an excellent opportunity to learn from 3 outstanding examples of how digitalization is being used in tourism to inspire and attract travelers. Any questions for individual speaker can be asked after all the presentations are finished during the Q&A session. Thank you all for joining us, and now let's take this chance to explore, exchange, and innovate together. I now invite Daniel Santana to start with the first session. Let me say that Daniel has a background in foreign trade and logistics and is a member of Sevilla's Smart Tourism Office that implements digitalization in order to improve the destination's overall performance. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Let me share the presentation first of all. Okay, can everybody see it properly?
Yes, we can. Maybe you can put it in the presentation mode. Perfect.
Is that okay?
Perfect. Thank
That's
you.
great. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Daniel Santana. I'm going to try to be brief. I'm a member of the Smart Tourism Office of Sevilla, and I'm going to talk to you about our information system and the projects that we develop and implement in Sevilla. Okay, our goal as an office is to enhance the visitor's experience, to improve the quality of life of the resident, and also help our companies to become more competitive. Of course, we follow the 5 pillars of smart tourism: sustainability, accessibility, digitalization, innovation, and governance. Okay, we follow a line of work that means that we work on the construction of a digital ecosystem that we share We provide training and transfer experiences, such as this one. With the knowledge that we gather, we build the intelligence system, and we carry out studies with the university, and we exchange information with them, with private companies, and also with public entities and privates. In order to overcome the challenges that we have as a city and as a tourism entity with the intelligence system, but we also develop some other projects like tourism flows that I will tell you about in a minute, okay? Just to give you an idea, we started providing reports in 2017 in PDF format because our CEO then detected the need of data, and we started with 14 KPIs. Today we have way over 122. In 2021, the office was incepted with the concept I've explained to you, the line of action, as you see there of knowledge, of digital ecosystem. And our goal is to become one with the smart city. We also, as you can see in a minute, are located in the town council. If you see the organization of tourism, we are under the area of finance and digital transformation. So we are working together with digital transformation in order to achieve our goal of merging all the data in the platform. I'm going to speak very briefly about the intelligence system, the data for decision making. Then I'll explain a bit about what we've done in the tourism density flows project, and then how we are implementing what we have learned in the development of a new neighborhood that is called Nervión. Okay, for decision making, we have 11 dashboards that provide information on, the typical stuff that we all know, like tourist housing, connectivity, passenger arrivals or reservation, etc. We produce reports monthly on each market, and we also produce ad hoc reports for our elders or for anyone, any company that is interested in a particular subject. This is how one of our dashboards look. We have the year, the month, we can compare throughout the year. That's the idea. Here we can see travelers, overnight stay, and occupation, a typical dashboard. Each dashboard is accompanied by information on its interpretations, and indicates data source, the provider, the periodicity, and also how frequently we have updated it. Here we see another dashboard. This is a medium expenditure by traveler. Okay, we see the results are mainly points of interest like the Cathedral, Alcázar, Flamenco, and the river are very high on the chart, and then we can see other resources that need development. We can also see where our visitors are coming from, depending on the geographical origins. Another one that shows connectivity. Just to illustrate, you can of course check the report is available, or you can log into our web page. Is Sevilla City Office, okay? And you can look for the smart. What are the next step? We need to get our companies involved so that they can share information and they actually use. So we want to train them, learn to teach them how to use the intelligence system. And we want them also to get involved and provide information from hotels, restaurants, in order to be able to generate the data ourselves and stop depending on other sources that, of course, take an investment, okay, monetary investments. To explain the reality, we have come up with three new indicators. One is the sustainability index. Then we have the tourism activity index. And the last one is all of these we are developing with local universities, the economic impact index. Just a few words about each one. The sustainability index, as you can see, we are on a 65 points out of 100. That would be the best. Okay, we have improved 16.16% from last year, and what we are looking here is the distribution of tourist income, the concentration of tourist supplies, carbon footprint, how visitors are perceiving us, what they comment on us on social media, motivation and diversification, why they say they're coming to Sevilla, dependence on origins and seasonality that is gradually disappearing. The tourism income distribution index, it's as I have shown before, it is distributed by types of, for example, we see here rooms or hospitality, shops and stuff like that. Okay, and here you can see how it's obtained. We compare different categories, okay, to see which ones we have to work on. The sustainability perception index is the reason why people are coming here, mainly for cultural reasons. They also value very well-being, the environment, social equality, and in a lesser scale, local commerce. The tourist activity index is one of the newest we have. We wanted to explain the reality of tourism, but leaving aside the obvious things like establishments or connectivity, visits to museums that we all know, but looking more about leisure activities, small companies, and experiences that the city offers, so that we can control the impact of all these in the search of a sustainable development. This is the last one we're working on, is local economic impact measurement of tourism, that we want to just to find out that we have done this study, we have the results already. The university are generating the report at the moment, and we want to know how tourism impacts all throughout the city in all the categories. Only economic, but how it impacts directly and indirectly in the city. About city challenges, density and tourist flows. Many cities are having problems. We have an issue with the tourist flows within our historical grounds around the cathedral. So we wanted to find out the reality, to see what's happening exactly, and then redirect the flows to some other parts of the city. We have worked with private and public enterprise and the university, because of course, we are not the smartest. We need expertise. We have followed 3 steps. First, analyze the reality, then prototype solutions, and then analyze the impact of these solutions. Analyzing the reality, we have used 3 types of technology. We have placed 5 pairs of sensors in different parts of the city to know how long people are stayed, how are they flowing, combining Wi-Fi tracking technology with optical sensors, and also information from mobile operators. Okay, why 3 technologies? Because one of them or 2 of them are not sufficient. Wi-Fi tracking, they count devices, not people. So if someone has two mobile phones, it will be counting twice. The mobile operators will tell us about the origin of those devices, if they are resident or not, okay? And optical sensors can see individuals. This, the device we're using for Wi-Fi tracking, is from a Spanish company. Galgus is a local company in Sevilla that operates worldwide. This our visor looks. Okay, you can see people and how they're flowing from one point to the other. The optical sensors are from Bosch. Okay, they identify learned patterns, not image. They have. We must protect people's identity. Okay, and we can develop them to to calibrate them. And as I explained in a minute, for example, in Sevilla, it's very sunny. So we had problems with the sensors because they were counting people, one person, and the shade, they were counting two people. So we had to adjust them because the sensors were getting confused with them. Relevant aspects that we must consider in terms of data protection. You must prepare a thorough impact before deployment, something like this. Work with trustworthy providers, make sure that they deliver and that they face the problems and that they are also they comply with the regulation. It's mandatory to set a start and an end time for daily analysis. Okay, so that we make sure we're measuring when there's a lot of people there, and we're not measuring when there's a local resident walking the dog at 6 in the morning or 10 at night. We must demonstrate legitimacy for the common good and also mark the area with signs that communicate the project. Okay, next step. Once we've done all this, we also have the results. We know how people are flowing, what are the most crowded times of the day. We must gather the commission to discuss possible solutions. We have created an interdepartmental commission in the city council. So all the areas of the city councils are informed of our project. They help and they give us feedback with what they need. Next step, once we know what's happening in that neighborhood, now we want to redirect flows to a new neighborhood. So we're working in Nervión, which is next to this area of the historical center. Okay, so we have delimited the zone in two numbers, as you can see there, 1 and 2. Okay, what are we going to do here? We want to measure, first we want to diagnose the neighborhood, existing resources, tangible and intangible, make a tourism market segmentation, sustainability plan, design of the tourist offer, marketing and promotion plan, and measurement and analysis of the results. We have just completed the first step for your information, okay? So we are now working on the second step. Here is how they look. We have looked at 886,000 mentions of sentiments on social media that refer to food and beverage, hospitality, attraction, short-term rentals, entertainment, and transportation. Points of interest, 649. Okay, we have seen how restoration is the most predominant aspect in Nervión. And it is more accentuated in section 1 and 2, because section 1 is obviously closer to the historical center and has more activity. Okay, we have looked at 74,000 over 74,000 digital traces. Most traces are concentrated in catering and accommodation. As you can see there, food and beverage and hospitality are the main resources now operating. So we need to have a look at this, analyze, and see how we can promote attractions, entertainment, and some other things. Here we see how the neighborhood is ranking compared to the Seville center in popularity, okay? Looking at dimensions, we see how Sevilla center has a 72.5%, and the popularity of this area is only 57.8%. But then, if we compare the gastronomy and accommodation are slightly better rated than in Santa Cruz, because here we have a sentiment, okay, superior. Okay, now we see how We can segment the visitors and the comments. Most people that leave traces are from Spain. Then we have France, United Kingdom, Italy, and Germany. Okay, and we can say that most of them are couples or families. Then we have also single people in a minor importance, and then groups. And as you can see, not many business people, only 0.5%, and that's really a shame. It's an advantage that we have to develop because there's a lot to offer around there, and I'll explain it in a minute. We made a
Daniel, I must say that you have a few more minutes and then we have to finish your presentation, just to let you know.
Okay, how long do I have?
A few more minutes.
Okay,
3,
so
4.
we segmented all the resources that you can see here. Okay, heritage and gardens and everything. We see how in hospitality most of the traces are from young people, and this is not Spanish cooking really, but chains of restaurants and fast food, something we need to work on. And entertainment is very low, as you can see here, so something that we must work on too. Then we observed how the tourist signage was pointing on the other direction to the river. So we must work with all the signage and point them to Nervión if we want to develop that area. That's very simple, but it must be done. And we are going to use digital signage. We have observed how transportation is really good. This area is really well connected. So it would be very good for mice. This is a mobility by bicycle. These are also excellent. This is the most commented resource line that we have compared to the transport mobility, and we have identified the hubs with a circle, so something we have to work on. And now, and I finish, okay? We are studying the current offer, analyzing the accommodation, restaurant, shops, and complementary service. And we want to make sure here is that we evaluate the stage of the infrastructure so that we can meet the capacity to receive tourists, really. Well, we don't have so much a problem of people coming, but of creating the infrastructure to attend the demand. And I think that will be all. Thank you so much. You are muted, Romana.
Thank you, Daniel. Yes, I was for your informative presentation on smart tourism intelligence system. And I know that we should give you more time, but maybe next time, okay? So
okay, if anybody have a question, they have any issues, they can address us. We'll be happy to help.
Thank you for that offer. And we are already moving to the next speaker. As I already mentioned before, Nace Concilia from Tourism Ljubljana will illuminate how integrating digital maps improves the experience at tourism information centers. Nace is actually head of guest services and sales at Ljubljana Tourism and leads a dedicated team providing top quality information, guidance, and services to visitors from all around the globe. Please take the stage.
Thank you, Romana. So hi, everyone. Just a second so I can share my presentation. So today I'm going to talk about the development of a digital map that we use in our tourist information center. So can you see my presentation?
Not yet.
Okay. Not yet? Okay.
Now we do. Thank you.
Okay, great. Our idea about, just a second. Okay, so here we are. So our idea about the tourist map, digital tourist map is not really new. So we started working with it in 2020 when we were thinking about how to reduce the quantity of printed materials in our office. because visitors, there weren't many visitors in our office, and the funds were low, especially for printing materials. So we come up with an idea to do a new digital map, and basically our brief to our developers was that we want to do a digital version of a printed map that we already have in our office. So they come up with a map that you can see here in the picture. And this map is pretty basic, so it has a layout, so it has a graphics of our city and of our printed map. And it offers these spots on the map are, let's say, different attractions and hotels and points of interest. So it has no filters. The only feature that it has that as a staff in the tourist office, we could write on it and tell people what to do. And basically, when numbers started growing again in our office, it became a little bit useless as it took a lot of time to draw on this map. So we were trying to ask ourselves, so how can we engage visitors that wait for the staff in our office, because our office is quite small, and we get a lot of few examples, especially in the summer months. There's people waiting to talk to our front office staff. And the other thing that we were asking ourselves is, what will this new tool add to our colleagues? Will that be more workload? Will they have, let's say, more challenges on how to edit things in the systems? So we put out a tender to start cooperating with local business partner, and we came up with the idea to integrate the background, the back office system of the map with the CMS system of our website, so that the changes would be done simultaneously, so that we don't leave anyone out. And we wanted to do the video content so that different points of interest can have their own, let's say, I know they have amazing video presentations, so we can also put it in this digital map, and our visitors can look at it and then get excited about this point of interest and, of course, visit it. And of course, the most important one is that it's easy to use for the customers and staff, so that it's so that people don't need a lot of time, let's say, getting used to it. That it's pretty straightforward, and so that they can use it with ease. Then how to use the map. So the visitor, the TAAS can do, as you can see in the video, they can do a path. So basically, there are points of interest filtered to different categories from nature. So basically, all the nature-related points of interest that we have in our city, and as well as in our region, because we are not promoting the city, we also promote the region as well, so that we connect the city and the region, because we believe that the city can't live without its region, and vice versa. So we want to disperse the tourist flows and encourage visitors to visit the, let's say, parts of interest that are amazing, but maybe not well known or well marketed to especially foreign visitors. So the map has an ability to create a personalized itinerary, as the video shows, and then the visitors can add it to their list, and the system itself does a way, or let's say a path that they can scan with a QR code, and it's on their mobile device. So on the mobile device, it's connected with Google Maps, so people know, visitors know where they are, and they can follow the Google Maps. And when they come to the destination, to the point of interest, our description pops up, and they can learn more about the point of interest before entering. So if we go forward to the use of the digital map for tourist information stuff, here's a nice, so this is the back office system that we use, and it offers, so it's linked to the website, as I mentioned. And what's cool that it offers a AI generated descriptions of point of interest. So now it's been optimized and it worked really well. But let's say first AI descriptions were quite funny. For example, when talking about the square somewhere in the city, it also mentioned that you can take a boat ride on this square. So it was a bit of work for our partner developers to develop, let's say, an AI system that now does really good descriptions. And each point of interest also has specific categories, so that enables the filter usage that I mentioned before. And so the back office staff must do, let's say, some category defining the categories so that it gets segmented in the right way. So we come upon quite a few challenges after implementation because we were like really optimistic about it, and we didn't listen to our developers to do, let's say, a few points of interest now and a few points of interest later. We did them all at once. So basically, the API that connects the CMS system with the digital map didn't have the same categories in terms of, let's say, filtering out the points of interest. So now we had to do everything by hand, and that started right when the tourist season started. That means that there was an absence of a project manager who would do who would review all points of interest before the season started. So basically, it was a slow process throughout the, let's say, summer season to get this let's say, digital map in its operating speed, or let's say it was more and more useful. And we also needed a more precise categorization of points of interest because the filters were generic. So you could find, let's say, the same point of interest in like 4 different categories. So the prioritization process needed to be established. What we found out is that the thing is working really well in our tourist office, because when, let's say, visitors with families come in, usually the parents wait in line to talk to our front office staff, and the children, they play with the map and with the points of interest and stuff like that. And they can explore Ljubljana in a digital way before going on a journey through the city. So looking ahead, we are still developing this tool. It's quite basic right now, but we are developing an AI interface that will suggest points of interest and routes based on visitor profiles. That means that you're gonna ask, the system's gonna ask you some questions, basically who you're traveling with, how much time do you have, and what are your main interests, and the system will like generate suggested path to follow, for example, without clicking any of the points of interest and creating your own path. Then we're gonna do a section called frequently asked questions. So our front office staff in our office always like have a lot of these basic questions, like how to get to the funicular, to the castle, where are the public toilets in the city, where are the closest stations to go to let's say, to a football match or to zoo. And all of that we're going to list in the subsection and create the predetermined routes to answer those questions without, let's say, engaging our front office staff, so they can really concentrate onto those customers who have, like, let's say, more complex problems, or let's say want to buy one of our products or services. We also want to highlight the Central Slovenia region more. So basically what we're going to do is that when people are going to filter the let's say, different categories, we're going to let's say, point out the let's say, points of interest that are in Central Slovenia region first and then in Ljubljana, so to disperse these tourist flows that I mentioned before. Then also we want, this is like let's say, this is how to say, let's say, ultimate goal is that the digital map would be accessible at different points of interest. So basically TAAS in the region, museums and galleries, so that each one has a username and a password, and they can also edit their own point of interest. So basically that means that there will also be events in this digital map, and let's say, things to see, things to do, that everything is let's say, coordinated not just by us but also by stakeholders. And I think one thing that I forgot is that this digital map is also going to be a support system for our convention bureau, because when they apply for, let's say, different congresses or business events, they need to point out where the, let's say, welcome reception is going to be, where participants are going to stay, where the, let's say, the event will take place. And we will be able to create, let's say, custom website, custom map, which will point out only these 4 or 5 points that the organizers need to know. So that's going to be probably the first thing that's going to be available early this year. So
Okay.
that will be it. Thank you for your attention.
I know I'm always interrupting, but time is relevant. So thank you, Nace, for sharing your experience on using digital maps within the tourism of Ljubljana. And since there are more and more visitors in our capital and, of course, the region, it looks like you are on the right track. I must also say that I would like to invite all the speakers to reply if we'll have time within this webinar. If not, in meeting chat. So please check the chat of this system. And of course, we are moving on to one more presentations. And now I invite Dr. Gabriela Fugir-Bauer from the Slovenia Tourist Board to start with the third session that highlights digital approaches to position Slovenia as a top tourist destination. Gabriela is head of digital communication at the Slovenian Tourist Board. She's an experienced digital marketing consultant with a strong background in higher education and research. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Romana. I hope you see my presentation.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay. Yes, as you said, I'm coming from Slovenian Tourist Board. My work there is to manage digital communication, especially promotion. So today I will introduce you our digital activities that, besides many other activities of STB, position Slovenia as a tourist gem. Sustainability is, as said, is at core of all our tourism activities. Slovenia is green, acts green, and promotes green. And the Slovenian Tourist Board has pledged itself to sustainable development with the national strategic guidelines. The most important of our vision is green, with thickness, lower impact, and higher value for all. Slovenia is situated in the heart of Europe, nested between Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Croatia. It's a part of European Union and Schengen. You can find the regions of Slovenia, extraordinary diversity, from Alps to sea, from caves to Pannonian Plain. We highlight key products of Slovenian tourism in all our projects and activities to present Slovenia as its best. These products are activities in nature, it's outdoor, sports events and athlete preparations, MICE, health and well-being, cities and culture, and gastronomy. These are the most important at the moment. So we work in 3 main areas at STB: digital content marketing, that's where I'm coming from, business communication, and research and development. This is our department. Our promotional success is fueled by dynamic digital activities, combining innovative campaigns, engaging content, and cutting-edge strategies to create impactful results. Main digital activities are global digital campaign using social media and Google network, then social media, content advertising in selected online media, promotion at major sports events, and PR with hosting journalists. First, I will present the biggest project. This is a global digital campaign. Oops. with the title I Feel Slovenia My Way. This is our communication platform. Is one of the most important activities actually on STB. We promote in 24 foreign markets. We advertise 5 most important products in Slovenian tourism. And we reach users with intensive targeted advertising through ads on social networks like Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Spotify, and through advertising on Google platforms. Every year we add new and more, let's say, trendy platforms that are needed. Our results in 1 year are impressive. With more than 20,000 different ads we produce each year, we achieved in last year, for the example, 1 billion impressions of our ads, 7 million clicks, and 86 million video views. Every year, we are trying to implement new digital approaches. In year 2024, we introduced innovation. For example, it was a special campaign on Spotify, the platform with audio recordings of Slovenian nature and typical sounds of Slovenian tourism products, with which we are entering the field of audio advertising. I will present you a promotional video for this project.
I don't know. I don't hear anything. Probably I should.
Okay. Yes, but I don't know where should I put this so that you can hear it.
You could send us link in chat so we could hear later.
Okay, that's right. So yes, the next is our Slovenia social media. We are very proud of our base of 2 million followers across 12 active Slovenia channels on social media. All the time we are implementing and experimenting with new trends and creative features on social media, and in this way achieving more than 1 million reach. Our YouTube channel is also very active. Actually, we achieved something happened. 23 million video views in 1 year, and it's quite normal for us to get 3.5 million for one post. So creativity and trends we are implementing are giving us our results. Owned media, databases, and content are becoming, as we know, increasingly important. The STB has highly recognizable and credible marketing communication channels, along with extensive contact databases in foreign markets. Newsletters we prepare and send out regularly are stories from Slovenia, gastronomy stories from Slovenia, and news from Slovenia. And we imagine more and more attractive stories all the time. And next very important activity is our website, Slovenia Info and Taste Slovenia. We are continuously creating current, rich, and dynamic stories and content to inspire and motivate target segments to choose Slovenia as their holiday session. On this slide, you can see Alma. Alma is our new chatbot we have introduced in 2024. And from her, you can get advices about Slovenia tourism activities and destinations. You can chat with her about your plans in Slovenia. Besides that, we are continuously promoting Slovenia in prestigious global online media with the widest reach. As you can see, these are BBC, Courier, Welt, The Guardian, Der Standard, Der Figaro, etc. Through engaging and visually rich content, articles, and dynamic digital hubs, that means that articles are connected to some social activities, social network activities and contents. We promote Slovenia as an extraordinary and inspiring travel destination. Besides that, we extensively collaborate with ambassadors of Slovenian tourism. Here you can see, as you probably all know, Luka Doncic, Jarna Gardenbret, Tadej Pogačar, and others. With their cooperation, we are creating outstanding creative projects and promotional campaigns of different kinds. Here are some examples of ambassadors in our promotional materials. Doncic, Jarna Gardenbret, Anna Roš, and here is the video with Primož Roglič and his family. Probably you don't hear the music, but there's no words. Actually, just music background. Okay, and yes, here I will just run it to give you the impression. We produced a beautiful movie with Tadej Pogačar, and we got some awards for this as well. And it is actually video that presents Slovenian nature and destinations through today's cycling and this activity. Okay. Okay, so we don't go over our time limits. Here also very important part of our activities, synergy between business and sports, as exemplified by our collaboration with Dallas Mavericks and other projects. The next activity is PR with foreign journalists, with foreign online and other media. We build Slovenia's recognition and positive image on a global media stage. Study trips for foreign media representatives are strategically focused on attracting the most influential journalists from leading global and product-specific media outlets. Besides all that, we are regularly producing Feel Slovenia podcasts, which complement the traditional communication activities and position Slovenia as a tourist destination in the field of audio content marketing. Just a few words about activities of my actually colleagues, which are not working on promotion but research and development. And after that, I finish with my presentation. Our creative and innovative activities are linked to research and development activities as well, as it should be. Those are new tourism original models, sustainability, a green scheme of Slovenian tourism, and digitalization and use of data. We are developing something very similar that Daniel has represented, and that is a National Information Center that will support data-driven decision marketing and at national and local level, and will provide stakeholders with the following functionalities. These are tourism statistics, dashboards for individual tourist destinations, trend analysis and forecasting, reporting and benchmarking, competitive analysis, market segmentation, and forecasting. As I see, we are all working in the same direction. That's nice to see. Innovative, what are the results of all those efforts? Innovative digital promotion and R&D, digitalization and use of data actually for us produce incredible results. We are very proud of them. As the results of recent study on the online reputation of Slovenia bring encouraging news. The research confirms that Slovenia's reputation is continuously improving, which is very important in digital age. Slovenia's online reputation is about the benchmark group. That's very nice to hear. And Slovenia also stands out from comparable countries with higher reputation in the field of sustainability. So Slovenia's online reputation is a leading role in sustainability. And according to the World Tourism Organization, global tourism and European tourism fully recovered from pandemic. Slovenia is recovering. Our result is that Slovenia is recovering actually faster than European and global average. So nice, good news as well. All our efforts and creativity are paying off, and we are receiving international recognition and awards, which give us energy and inspiration for the future. Here are some awards listed that we gained only in year 2024. The Golden City Gate, World Media Festival, Verbe, Grand Prix, In Orbit Award, Sample, etc. So as you can see, everyone has a story, so tell yours. We are telling it digitally and offline as well. So thank you.
Gabriela, thank you for sharing your insights with us. I must say that I'm not Pogacar and I'm not an AI Alma, but I think that our agency is doing a good job to promoting Slovenia as a sustainable and also a tourist destination, and hopefully we'll achieve more goals in the future. And now it's time to give the word to all of you because we ended our today's agenda. And now, dear participant, it's time for your involvement in today's webinar. So we have already some questions in the chat. But maybe if there is somebody that can that would like to ask a question from the audience before I start reading from the chat. Is there or no? Okay. Then start. So this is for Daniel. Do your dashboards include algorithms? And if so, how are you dealing with ethical aspects such as gathering data from public apps where people have to agree and should be reading many pages of terms nobody reads, and devices are traceable to owners?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you very well. Can I read the question somewhere, or can you say that again? I'll set the volume higher.
It's at the beginning of.
I'll copy it and send it again in the chat so Daniel doesn't have to search.
Thank you, because I couldn't hear the question.
Maybe I can explain. Is that an idea?
Ah, yes, of course.
Thank you. First of all, I'm very impressed of all three presentations on sustainable tourist and the way digitalization and AI and visualization techniques are used. So compliments for that. I heard, especially in the first and the third presentation, I heard about gathering data from tourists that enter areas from their device, public apps, and they have to agree on the terms of license. And there are many pages to read, and what is being done with their data is not explained very well. So that is the biggest problem, that there are many terms of licenses and people just say, I agree, because they want to have information about touristic events, where to stay, where to go, and so on. How do you deal with that ethical dilemmas? Do you have them? That's the first question. And the second question is, but let's do the first one first. So this one first.
Okay. On behalf of the Smart Tourism Office, we have Federico Royan is the head of the unit, my colleague, and he's responsible for digital transformation in tourism, but also he's in charge of data protection of rights. So he's always vigilant. He's always taking care of that aspect. What we can tell you regarding what we do from the data we collect from sentiment and mention in media. We do it through this one has been done with a company that belongs to Mabri and to a Spanish company now. Data Appeal is an Italian company that works with us. We know they follow the rules, but I wouldn't have the details. But what I can tell you is that we try to comply with all the protection, especially in what regards to the information we are gathering in the streets. It's a project we have a lot of experience in Santa Cruz, all the optical sensors, dash cameras. They are cameras, but they are pixeled and they protect people. And then we make sure that we go to the office when we start the project of protection, of data protection and privacy, and we follow their instructions. For example, we cannot collect data. We only can collect data from 9 o'clock till 8, I think, from people, pedestrians are passing by and through, because if we would do that at 6 in the morning or 12 at night, maybe I would gather information from a device that belongs to a neighbor that is walking the dog, and that goes against the regulations. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I was interested in the insight of how they do that to protect data they gather. That was my interest.
We would have to speak to the providers, the information providers, but I can pass that information to the person that is the expert in that subject. Maybe we can come back to you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah. And let's move on. The next question is for Natse. And it says here, is there some known ontology behind your categorization of pools, or is it your proprietary ad hoc categorization? Natse?
There's basically, we don't have like known ontology. But let's say I'm a geographer by profession, and creating maps has been part of my education. So we designed some categories that we think are the most basic ones, and then there are subcategories so that they can define a little bit further each point of interest. We also consult with the set points of interest. What do they see? Are they more for the families? Are they more like, let's say, for the cultural visitors, for I don't know, low, experienced trekkers. If there's some hiking path that's on the map. So basically, we do like a combination of our own, let's say, defined categories and what those points of interest see themselves as, so that we can get the best, let's say, idea for the visitors.
Thank you for that. And the next question is actually for both of the presenters. It's for Natse and Daniel. It says here that do you use or intend to use AI tools to predict and implement measures for sustainable mobility increasing? Let's have Natse or that. Well, Daniel,
Sorry.
go ahead, please.
In what regards to Sevilla, yes, we're intending to use AI for mobility. We are starting a collaboration with our colleagues from mobility, and there are two different departments, TUSAN, which is public transport, and our colleagues that regulate traffic in the city and watch for jams and circulation. So yes, I know they are already using AI, but we want to develop a project, a collaborative project with them, to interchange information and make predictive analysis based on a digital twin.
So yeah, we tend to use AI to disperse tourist flows. So basically, that we will train the model that will have information when are some, let's say, some attractions more, let's say, have more visitors than the others, so that when there will be a list of, let's say, attractions, that it's gonna list them by let's say, how many people are there. In terms of like a broader AI prediction tools and what Daniel mentioned, that's unfortunately not a question for me, but I can ask my colleagues what's been done on the municipality level as well, because I know that they're doing some things to use the AI, just not sure in the, let's say, in the details.
Okay, great. Now we have another question from Nordic SAS provider for multi-channel tourism map solutions named Zone Atlas, and they're asking, was there some specific reason for developing the software as own custom development instead of SAS solutions? And is there an estimate on how much was the budget for the solution?
Okay, yeah. First, the budget price of development was around 6,000 euros, and then there was an investment of, let's say, roughly 3,000 euros in hardware, such as a 55-inch touchscreen, computer with good graphic card, and stuff like that. Why we decided to develop our own solution? I mean, it's not our own; it's also going to be used in the other destinations. So basically, first one was that when I browsed, let's say, when I was doing the research on what's there out there, most of the developers I stumbled upon developed like an app to let's say do this information. So it was yet another app that the visitors have to download. So we've had that in the past, and there was a huge decline in downloads of another app. So we wanted to use a developer where, let's say, information can be accessible in the web browser, and then can use, let's say, an app for navigation that's already basically in every mobile device. Then also we got proposals, actually a few of them, from all of them were Slovenian companies. So we wanted to empower the Slovenian companies to collaborate with them, so that we can present a good case of, let's say, cooperation. And we've already we had a good working relationship with this developer, and all the things that they proposed, like in the future, it aligns to us, and it's also like a good example of, let's say, teaching model, because we are the biggest destination that this digital map is in, with the most users, with the most points of interest and stuff like that. So the company invests their own funds into, let's say, students and also their employees that come into our office and see where people are having the most troubles using the digital map or in the tools, in order to develop a more, let's say, smooth user experience with the next updates. So that was also very, very strong, how there's argument to choose a Slovenian company, so that we learn together, and then they're also offering to some other destination. As far as I know, the same solution has now been adopted to 12 different destinations in Slovenia as well. And perhaps in the future, we all sit down at the same table and we open data us for other destinations and other stations for us, so that people can just visit one tourist office and get the information for, let's say, all the other destinations as well.
Great, and thank you. Mati Polari is saying great and really comprehensive work, Daniel. And here is his question. What was the overall budget for all the steps, and would you have suggestions what to focus on if a destination has a more limited resources for this type of actions? Daniel, let's hear.
Okay. If you know the estimate, if you estimate for an office like ours, okay, to generate I suppose you refer to the information system, which is the basis of everything else, because every project has a cost. But I would say for 180 to 200,000 euros, you can have your information system. Okay, about 1.5 people, and then the supply of information. That all depends on where you get the data. If you are capable of generating it within your destination with the companies, it'll be cheaper. So I would advise anyone that wants to start to speak to the sector and get them involved in the generation of their own data. That would be helpful and cheaper.
Okay, great. And here is a question for Gabriela from Urša Perišić. Slovenia has achieved a prominent place on the international tourism map in recent years. It has received several international awards and certifications for sustainable tourism. What is the key to Slovenia's tourism achieving such results? Gabriela,
yes. Thank you for the question. Yes, I believe that a great deal of the power to achieve those results in people. We are a very enthusiastic and passionate team for tourism and for our work. So it's going hand in hand with our commitment to learning and innovating, being creatable, and also to dare to experiment with creativity. And by all that, we continuously invest a lot of our time and free and time as well to education. So we are participating in global conferences across the tourism and other industries. In last year, we find ourselves also in the reverse positions. So that we are not only listening, but my colleagues are many times also the speakers on the conferences. So we are actually very live part of this marketing and promotional and tourism and sustainability community, actually. Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's a lot. We have one more question, and all the other questions, I would suggest that since we are in this tight time frame, that and we will not be able to answer all the questions, that please feel free to reach out directly to today's speakers, if that's okay with you. Is it okay, dear speakers, that all the audience can ask the questions to you and send them to you directly? So one more question before we end this session. It's from Jaroslava, Live Tourism Office. What percentage of tourists use digital maps compared to printed materials? Interested in the stage of staying in the city, not planning. After all, this is a modern dilemma, how to reduce the use of printed materials, because tourists still have a demand for printed materials. Maybe Nace?
Yeah, that's for me probably. So hi, Yaroslava. Thanks for your question. So happy to see you again, to hear from you again. So yeah, it's a really good question, because yeah, in 2020 or 2021, we were all thinking about everything's going to be digital. We won't print things anymore, and we're only going to use digital tools and stuff like that. But yeah, the percentage is quite low, but it's increasing. So, and it also depends on the period of the year when it gets, when people use it. So when there's a low season, right, as it is right now, people don't use it a lot. Let's say when we have more visitors and people see that there's a lot of, let's say, a lot of crowd in the office, then people start using it more and more and more. So but yeah, there was something else what I wanted to say, and now I forgot. Just a second. Yes, so I think that the digital maps are just a supplement, because yeah, the let's say selling point of a tourist office is for the people to have this human touch and human interaction. So I believe that that's still gonna be the thing in the future. But digital map is a great, let's say, great thing to have, like for people who are just coming in for an inspiration, maybe, because you have a lot of that people coming in, taking the map, going out, maybe. And yeah, so now they have a place where they can basically play on, and then do the, let's say, the itinerary that's tailored to them. So it's going to be our goal in the next years to dedicate the team member just to the digital map, to promote it, like, you know, promotions of some new food products in the grocery stores, stuff like that. And yeah, we'll see. I think that the usage of the digital map will increase year after year. But yeah, printed materials, I think at least digital maps are going to stay a constant in our TAAS environment.
Thank you for that. And here is actually the end of our today's story. Again, thank you for all this to all the speakers for great presentations. And the Regional Development Agency of Ljubljana Urban Regions was more than delighted to host the first webinar of the TAAS project. We hope that the topics presented will assist you in creating a successful and recognizable digital approaches in tourism within your own regions. All presentations will be available, of course, on our website in the next few days, if you will have another look of what the presenters said. So thank you for being with us today, and wish you all the best until the next time. And don't forget, in Slovenia, it has the word love. So goodbye from Ljubljana with love.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you for having us. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.